everyone will benefit by a little bit of fresh air and something to eat. So there's been a little bit of talking over the lunchtime, and we do have some amended recommendations. And Councillor Casey quite sensibly has said, let's just report back on gambling related activities. Thank you, Councillor, that's useful. And D, request staff to report back on financial sustainability options and impacts of current practice on ratepayer and leaseholders before the LTP 2021. So that gives people the idea, we're looking at the status quo, we want to talk to people about how we can make things work for our leaseholders. It signals that this isn't a sudden arrival of huge bills in the mail. That's not going to happen. And hopefully in the next 2 years we can actually work it through with our communities and local boards. It's quite a long time. So I know I've got Councillor Member Blair, Councillor Clough, Councillor Cooper waiting to speak. This might have reduced the requirement to speak, but if it hasn't, please feel free. Member Blair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kia ora. Just want to ask whether, during the review, will it show the percentage of Māori groups or clubs or organisations by ward?
It was
Yep.
So through the chair.
Oh, sorry, by local board area, not ward.
Through the chair, no, we don't have that information of Māori groups by local board. But in our targeted interviews, we have interviewed groups in the southern area where there's a huge Māori and Pacifica community.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Just my second question is, during the review, I know of one iwi that wants to build brand new building and prepared to invest millions into a sports, recreation and health facility for the community. Will the review capture those groups that are wanting to build brand new facilities on the council-owned properties?
So through the chair, that's probably going to be covered by the facility partnerships policy that's currently
Could you speak up? The facilities what, sorry?
a partnership policy which was approved for consultation by this committee. It's currently being consulted across the communities. So that really provides that framework in order to operationalise partnerships.
Okay, could I suggest then, my final thing, just to say that could you contact that iwi group that I'm suggesting to make sure that they do contribute to that? Thank you.
Councillor Clough.
Getting hung up to by the Deputy Mayor. It's still kind of not right, but I'm happy with it. That's right. I'm not going to speak. All good.
Okay. I'll take that as okay.
Qualified.
Councillor Cooper.
Oh, well, I guess mine was just probably already covered now, but I just see this like getting a warrant of fitness on your car. You just got to check under the hood, check it all out. If it doesn't need anything changing, you don't change, and if it does, you replace a few bits and pieces to make sure it's in good working order. So I'm not afraid of this, but I do see why it is a bit scary, because we will get blamed for it, as we always do. So I can understand everybody's reticence around this, because if people think we're suddenly going to charge them, it'll be sheeted back home to the governing body. So that's understandable. But yeah, I do support it. I'm happy to move it if you like. I'm happy to move it, Madam Chair, if you want me.
Okay. And Councillor Bartley, Councillor Cooper, Councillor Bartley. And thank you for that. I think it is important that people realise that this is hopefully going to be a really good and useful outcome for our community organisations. That's the reason why we're doing it, and to make sure there's equity across the region. Councillor Stewart.
Just thank you. I just wondered, are we able to get a list of by ward, so we can see which ones are, you know, which sports clubs are leasing and the different wards? Because I've got Howick, Pekarenga and Botany, which is pretty spread out. Can we do that? Thank you.
That might be something useful.
We get one for each
everybody.
ward would be
For
really
everybody.
helpful.
Lovely. Awesome. Thank you, Star.
More work.
Right. I think that's us. I'm going to put the recommendation, and thank you for the really healthy debate and discussion and the sensible place we've landed. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. And, yeah, really appreciate the way that that's been handled, and thanks to the staff. Now, we just need to move and second, I think, our memos, and I'm happy to move that, and Councillor Simpson will second. I don't think there's any discussion. I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried. And now we move into confidential, and I'm happy to move the confidentiality recommendation, and as we stated right at the beginning, the reason to move into confidence is because we are buying or considering buying property, and that is an issue that we usually deal with in confidence. So I'll move it if there's someone happy to second confidential. Thank you, Councillor Walker. I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye.
Right.
Against? Carried. So